And this show is sponsored by 106th Street Tire and Wheel, 106th Street Tire and Wheel, True to New York Sports, here with Billy and Chet. Steele will be here a little late. Lou can't make it today, but we still gonna make it an action-packed show for you guys tonight. We got a lot of things to cover. Billy and Chet, how you guys doing?
Good, buddy. What's going on? How's everybody doing tonight?
All right,
Doing
all
well,
right, all
bro. How
right.
are you?
Hey, let's just take us straight into the big news that happened today. Billy, take us home.
Guys, the biggest news out today, the NFL is still making headlines. Sean Payton has stepped down as the coach of the New Orleans Saints. It's been rumored the last couple of days this was going to happen. I didn't believe it until I actually saw it. I mean, Sean Payton, what he did for that franchise, what him and Drew Brees did, turning that team around, it's unbelievable that this happened. And there is now another coaching job. And unfortunately for the Saints, they're a little behind the eight ball, so to speak, in getting to the hot candidates out there to interview. There's going to be some probably off the board before they put a search team together.
Now, did he now did he make this decision because he realized how tough life is without Drew Brees?
Nah,
I gotta say it's a factor.
That's part of it, but he's also had health issues the last few years. Also, that's been going on for like 2-3 years, and with all the COVIDs he had the last couple of years, I think 3 times. I mean, in the last 2 years, I think he's had health issues, and that's why a part of it is stepping down. But also part of it is for Brees too.
I mean, you can't really make an argument against that logic, Boogie, when the team right now today is $71 million over the salary cap.
Yeah, that's
71. Like you can't say that this can't be a factor. I mean,
it's time. You know what? I think he's seen the writing on the wall. He saw that it's time for a rebuild. I don't think he's in rebuild mode, like what Chet said. His health is declining and stuff like that, and he's still a reasonably young man. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
he's like his young
old.
60s. Or something. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess, like I said, he doesn't see anything that's positive in staying with this team right now. Because
the big rumor going around is he's going to end up either on the Amazon announced team when Amazon takes over the Thursday night games next year. Okay. Or the possibility of Troy Aikman going to Amazon, and then Sean Payton would take his spot with Joe Buck.
Aikman was mad that he didn't get that Cowboys game.
Yeah.
So he's going. They said more than likely he's going to Amazon. More than likely.
So I mean, either way it goes, if he goes into broadcasting, somebody's going to be paying a lot of money to have Sean Payton still on their TV next year.
Fox will be all over that.
Oh, for sure.
But with all the good things I have to say about Sean Payton, I gotta say, I hate this guy.
Please lower your volume a little bit.
Who let him in? But one thing I gotta say, all the good things we have to say about Sean Payton, he was a great coach, did great things for New Orleans.
He was, man.
Part of the problem in New Orleans, so Sean Payton's got to take some responsibility and a hit for that too. Never having a plan to replace Drew Brees. Nobody in this world is going to convince me Taysom Hill was the plan.
Yeah,
that was never the long-term plan to replace Drew Brees. They didn't even bring in capable backups for years.
Nope.
Like they did not do this organization.
Backup was Teddy Bridgewater pretty much when he was there.
The whole Michael Thomas situation over the last 2 seasons, the way that's gone down. I mean, he's going to be gone, even though he didn't even play this year. Hasn't played football in close to 2 years. He's going to be out. I mean, they are a good organization, but the situation they're in right now is not very good.
Not good,
and I can't see many of the top candidates possibly not even wanting that job.
Nope. Because like I said,
there's no upside before you turn that around.
No upside. And I guarantee the person who takes that job, they're not even going to keep that job. They're going to end up getting fired. And then once they get stabilized, the next person.
Do you want that blemish?
Right. You're going to get a lower coordinator, or you're going to bring in somebody from college.
Exactly.
You know what it reminds me of? It honestly it could be a David Culley Houston situation. Where somebody, it's like, you know what, I got offered a job. I got to take a job if I'm offered a head coaching job. Somebody that feels that way, and he took it, and he's in a no-win situation.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
Now, staying on football, what a playoff this round was. And I knew that this playoff round was going to be good, but no way you was going to tell me that this playoff round was going to be like this. Guys, did you any of you guys foresee this? Like, because I didn't.
No.
Not
Not
like
like
this.
this.
I
No
knew we
way.
were going to see some good football. I did
Yeah.
not expect
No
it to
way.
be.
I agree.
I was on the edge of my seat for 4 games.
Yo, beautiful.
I think I woke my wife up twice Sunday night at the end of the Buffalo Kansas City game. She's like,
yeah,
if you're like this now, what would you be like if the Giants? I was like, if this was the Giants, I need oxygen.
Oh my God, I wish the
Well,
Giants.
my wife was not happy with the Buffalo game, but she's not a football fan. But she wanted Buffalo win so bad. You want to talk about somebody who was so upset after the game? Oh, God help us.
Well,
And you saw it, Billy, on Sunday night when you heard him in the background with us.
No, it was.
Well, let's go right into this Bengals game. This is the ending of the Bengals game, 16-16 with 2 minutes left. And this right here was the major turnover that just I guess put the writing on the wall, so to speak.
It's on 19-yard line. Fake the handoff. Tannehill. A bullet to Julio Jones. Hilliard in there for the Titans. Tannehill makes the connection. Tannehill steps forward.
Here we go.
Popped up in the air. Intercepted. Logan Wilson's got it for Cincinnati.
Right place, right time. That's what happens when you hustle to the ball. He's right there for the interception, giving the Bengals excellent field position with 20 seconds to go. 2 timeouts, Ian. 2 timeouts. You can use the whole field here.
Burrow, deep drop. Step and throw. Lays it out there for Jamar Chase. 15 seconds on the clock. Running play.
Get right in the middle of the field.
Carries the pile for 2. 52-yard attempt.
This is clutch.
McPherson.
52 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Bengals.
Not at all.
Rookie, and a rookie kicker, too.
Game on the line.
Huber will hold it. 52-yarder. Sweeps the leg. McPherson. He's got it.
GG's.
Cincinnati wins.
Really?
You know, it was a little disturbing. Like, now you watched this game, right? And Ryan Tannehill was catching grief on this when that's definitely not Ryan Tannehill's fault.
And
like, that was
No,
right in
definitely
the dude's
wasn't.
heads.
I said it to these guys Sunday night, and I'll say it again now. The Tennessee Titans wouldn't have been where they were without Ryan Tannehill this season.
Correct.
This is a guy that went out there. He lost Derrick Henry. He had A.J. Brown was gone for...
Stop the presses. Lonnie's here with no Lou. Oh, my goodness. How you doing, Lonnie? I can't believe it. Sorry, Billy. Go ahead.
But, Tannehill we had no Derrick Henry at times. A.J. Brown missed a couple of games. Julio Jones missed at least half the season. And they were the number 1 seed. And Ryan Tannehill's got to get a lot of credit for that. And he got a lot of flack that he didn't deserve. But, that's the quarterback position in the NFL. You're gonna get praise. You're going to get heat. And unfortunately for him right now, he's getting the heat.
And shout out to Burrows.
Here's my take of the game. Yes, he threw 3 interceptions. The first pass of the game, all his fault. I'll give you that. The other 2, off receivers' hands. Who I blame the game on is Derrick Henry. He looked lethargic. They had to play before that on 4th and 1. Everybody in the ballpark knew, and he looked like he was scared to hit the hole and was knocked for a 2-yard loss.
But who do you really blame there, Chet? Do you blame Derrick Henry or the coaches that put him on the field in that position when it obviously showed
that he wasn't
he
ready?
was not ready for a 20-carry game.
That's my point.
I would say a little bit of both. I would say a little bit of both.
I don't blame the player because the player as a competitor is going to want to be out there. And Derrick Henry,
right, exactly.
Derrick Henry, we all know Derrick Henry is going to want to be out there. It's a coach sees what's going on during the game, and Derrick Henry should have been sprinkled in.
And then the other running back that they had, he ran the ball 5 times. His average like 20 yards a rush.
Exactly. Foreman showed that the Bengals could be run on, but Henry did not have that second gear to get to it and make it happen. That I don't blame Henry at all. I blame the Tennessee coaching staff and Mike Vrabel for that one.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. Yes, I can see that.
And like I said, man, at the end of the day, like, people slept on the Bengals. Like, I didn't pick the Bengals to win this game. This was one of my losses. I thought Tennessee was going to win, and arrived down to, like I said, an interception and a game-winning drive for a field goal, 52-yard field goal at that. So,
and like I said Friday, I was on the
Great
fence.
game.
Like this was the game that was pulling my hair, and I changed my mind. I said I went to Cincinnati at that point. Yeah, exactly. Whatever hair I have left. Yeah, exactly. I said whatever hair you left, you see, whatever hair. But no, I sat there and changed my mind. I looked at the game. I said, the line went up to 4, which I thought was crazy. That line should have been that high. I said you had to take Cincinnati at that point.
Cincinnati's going to be a good team for a real long time. They're just scratching the surface right now.
I think they're ahead of schedule. They're ahead of schedule.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
oh, yeah, definitely. And they're young. That's the thing. They are young. Other than Mixon, they are young.
And Mixon,
those positions.
I mean, you got to remember, Mixon's not that beat up because he was splitting carries with Gio Bernard for how many years? Like he's not that guy that was beaten. He's not that running back at 26. I think he was at 26. He wasn't beaten to the ground like the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big difference in that wear and tear on the body.
Moving along to the 49ers Packers game. This was an interesting one. Let's go. Let's watch this one.
Debo gets it. Samuel breaks a couple of tackles, doing it all. First down inside the 30. And a use check to send the 49ers to the NFC Championship game. Kick was down the middle and good. 49ers win it.
Let me tell you guys something. Debo Samuels is an animal. That guy was hurt and he was laying it on the field. Debo Samuels,
the top weapon left in the NFL playoffs right now.
Can he get an MVP?
Bar none.
Can he get an MVP? Because this guy
he could not this year, but he could. He could.
Oh man, this guy is playing like an animal, like a man possessed.
Here's my take on the game, and I was saying this the other.
This guy was limping all over the field, and it was ice cold in Wisconsin, minus however degrees it was, getting banged up left and right, and he was laying it on the line.
They said it was 11 degrees, felt like 0. Like
you knew it was going to him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna take it on the Packers end. 2 reasons why they lost that game. One, it's 3rd and 7. You can't stop a play on 3rd and 7, even though it's Debo. You can't stop a play like that. When you had 5 or 6 in the box.
I mean, it's easy for us to stay in our warm living rooms.
Exactly. I mean, and not for nothing, how many people have stopped Debo Samuel this season on that same play?
Exactly.
Not many.
Yeah.
Exactly. That dude was an animal.
You have to make that
that's a play where I got to give credit to the offensive player on it and not the defense. This guy, like I said, he is the ultimate weapon left in these playoffs.
But
right
he's saving Jimmy Garoppolo's career right now. Just by the way.
And here's the person I'm going to bash most. Aaron Rodgers. And here's why.
Justin Schmick will like to hear this.
Here's the play. Rodgers threw, I think, 27 or 28 passes in the game. Okay. 22 of them were for either Devontae Adams or Aaron Jones. You're telling me you have no confidence in your other receivers. Lazard, who showed up the last few weeks like crazy. He lost his trust in the first quarter when this game totally changed, when Mercedes Lewis fumbled the ball when they were driving to score again after the first possession. That changed the whole game around, period. They couldn't run the ball. You're sitting there throwing to those 2 guys. Yeah, they caught pretty much every single pass, other than 2. Okay? He has no trust in anybody else in those 2. And it came back to bite him in the you-know-where for them to lose.
No, I mean, there were definitely other plays out there that could have been made. But you know what? I mean, the guy did go out there still in the conditions we spoke about, completed 20 or 25. The biggest problem people have with Aaron Rodgers, and I've really thought about this a lot the last few days, it's not his play. It's his personality. Because you know what? When you look at Aaron Rodgers' play, Aaron Rodgers is Peyton Manning. He's a great regular season quarterback. The postseason just really doesn't seem to work out. He won one. Peyton Manning won. But you know what? Peyton Manning's a likable guy that everyone loves. That's why you'll never hear people really anymore talk about Peyton Manning's postseason failures.
And he had
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
two.
Rodgers is just he's himself. He doesn't endear himself to anyone.
And-
Aaron Rodgers is he's a Peyton Manning performance with a Barry Bonds attitude.
It's hard.
That's
It's hard for me
really
to
what it
compare
is.
those two guys. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
compare those two guys because Peyton had 2 Super Bowls, one with 2 different teams, which is unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he might have had a lot of failures in
Let's
the
see.
playoffs,
The
but
Denver Broncos, no disrespect. I like Peyton Manning a lot.
it was their
The
defense. I
Denver
understand that.
Bronco team had a lot to
Oh,
do
yeah,
with Peyton
absolutely.
Manning winning
Yeah,
that second
for sure.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For sure, but
So,
just he still was the winning quarterback for that team.
Yeah, and another
You know what I'm
thing
saying?
I blame, and I forgot to bring up, we forgot to bring up too. Green Bay special teams killed them also.
Oh,
Big
that's
time.
that is the
Big
The
ultimate.
block
time.
field goal, the block punt for the touchdown, but so many positions that San
But see-
Francisco was starting in great field position all day.
But that should have
You know-
been your leading line of why Green Bay lost. The
Oh,
special
absolutely,
teams.
the special teams. And you know
Special
what?
teams.
Just think about it this way too. A lot of people forget. Remember the possession before the Green Bay block punt when San Francisco went for it on 4th and 3 and didn't get it. If
They
they
did,
would have
yeah.
kicked that field goal, that block punt would have won the game. The last second field goal would have never been needed.
Right.
Would have never mattered, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Now, what happens to Aaron Rodgers right now? I know Billy, you had some insider information. Tell me, what is his
listened to
mind
him
frame
today.
right now?
I listened to Aaron Rodgers today. He has said that he's mended his fences with his general manager. He actually now considers him a friend. He's mended his fences with LaFleur. I think I'm going to stand by what I've been saying. Aaron Rodgers is either a Green Bay Packer or he's retired. He's not going at 39 years old to start over in Denver and try to beat Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert twice a year and have to go through the two of them plus Josh Allen and Joey Burrow to get to a Super Bowl through the AFC.
Right.
It's not
And
happening.
I'll just piggyback on that too. What he also said is he's going to make his decision when it comes to Devontae Adams.
He
and what
wants
they're
to
gonna
see
do with the
it's, the
character.
team, it's Devontae Adams and the team in general.
Right.
He wants.
Right.
He doesn't want to be.
If they tag Devontae, they said he'll more than likely will come back.
What's going
If
on,
he
Jay?
doesn't, they're both going to be gone. And I can tell you right now, like I was saying the other day, the ideal place for him to go is not in the AFC. It's going to be in the Pacific Northwest up to Seattle.
This show is actually official now because we got our
the Voon rent.
our weekly spam Voon.rent.
We
We got our spam from YouTube. Thank you
I
very
agree,
much.
I agree with
Yeah,
Billy that though he's not going to go to the AFC, but I can actually see him go to Seattle because Seattle.
I don't think that's going to happen because that Seattle team isn't close enough that a 39-year-old quarterback, especially with that offensive line and a guy that doesn't run. No, there's no match there at all. Why would you get rid of Russell Wilson for a guy 6 years older? You're not that close. You're not.
What they're gonna do,
Aaron
what they're
Rodgers
gonna
isn't
do-
flipping
yeah,
a
they're gonna
switch
bring
on your
Rodgers-
team.
they're gonna
Didn't Russell
get it
Wilson
for
want to go to
one
New
year.
York?
Yeah, Wilson's
It's
going to
not-
come to the Giants still.
Russell Wilson's not coming to the Giants either because you know what? The Giants still need about 3 years till they're a viable threat. And a 36-year-old quarterback, Russell Wilson hates the offensive line he's behind right now. The Giants' offensive line, as we speak, is no better. And there is no reason for the Giants to give up what it's going to take to get him to have him be on a not competitive team for probably a minimum at best of 2 more years.
So you're
here's
basically
the thing.
saying
the
the
thing.
Giants have no shot right now and no
They're
time
rebuilding the
in the
team.
near future.
Look
Again,
what
Here's the
Joe
thing.
showed.
for the 5th year in a row, we're rebuilding.
They've
No,
already
but
pretty
now
much-
I think you're going to see a real rebuild of the Giants.
Now, because they sat there pretty much today and said they're going to be hiring the offensive coordinator of Buffalo, Brian Daboll, as their new coach. They already have the GM for Buffalo, and they want to bring in the quarterback coach, like Boogie was saying too, Ken Dorsey. They want to bring it as a quarterback coach to mentor whoever's there, whether it's Jones or whoever it is.
The only way they're getting Dorsey,
I want them to get Flores,
out of
man.
Buffalo is if they make him the offensive coordinator. He's not going to be allowed to interview for a parallel
Which I can
position.
see. Well,
And
which I can see.
making
Right.
him the offensive coordinator while Dable's calling the plays, I have no problem with that because it's a continuation of his offense. But
Because
the fact of the matter
if you look
is,
at Giants,
these guys are going to go build a program like they did in Buffalo. That's why
Yes.
the Giants hired them, because they want to build a program. And that
Yes.
took 2 or 3 years to do.
yes, right.
And the Giants weren't rebuilding. The Giants were the abusive
Patching.
parents.
Yeah, there was
The Giants
patching
were the
them.
abusive parents
Yeah.
throwing money at the problem.
Yeah.
John Mara and Steve Tisch were the abusive parents who didn't give a crap and just said to the kid, oh, here's money. James Bradbury, here's money. Leonard Williams, here's money. And now Joe Shane's got to come in and clean
Wish
up
my
the
parents
salary
did that
cap
for
mess.
me.
And you're going to see
they're
a
gonna
lot
have
of
to
these
cut-
guys.
and they're already upping salary. They're already talking about getting rid of Peppers already.
You got to see
They're
a lot.
talking about it
No,
already.
Peppers is a free agent. They're not going to re-sign him. They're going to cut Kyle Rudolph. They're going to cut James
Right.
Bradbury. They're going to
Right.
cut. They're probably going to cut Blake Martinez. There's going to be a lot of cuts
Right.
to clear up salary cap space.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about Barkley?
Me personally, offer me a second round pick is yours.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. I mean,
Wow.
myself, it depends on, like I said, who the offensive coordinator is going to be. Somebody that's going to be, that's
But
talented.
if you can get me another second round pick, especially in this draft, with what the holes the Giants have, and the fact, again, every other team out there is proving the fact that you can get running backs late and plug them into a system. I mean, look at what Brian Dable did in Buffalo. I mean, he's basically Singletary, Moss.
Singletary and Knox,
He got great games out of Matt Breida this year, who some people probably forgot was even still in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, we have the 6th and 10th pick in the first round also. So, like I said, if you want to,
we can't rely on draft picks. That, like I said, we've been relying on draft picks.
But if you give me 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, give me a number 2 for Barkley.
All offensive linemen, please.
We have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. I like their chances.
But I don't think there's no offensive lineman out there.
They need offensive line. They have to draft edge. They have to draft an edge rusher too. It's
edge
absolutely
rusher. Edge rushers there. The kid from Michigan, not Hutchinson, the other guy, may be there at 6.
Okay.
Owosu, whatever his name is. Owosu, I think the guy's name is in Michigan. They say he's the better line rusher.
Dennis is spot on here with saying that. They haven't addressed the O-line. And that's why Joe Shane, in his interview, was supporting giving Daniel Jones a shot. Because he said, he goes, this kid was never given a viable line to play behind. His weapons were constantly injured. He has not been given a viable chance to play behind an NFL caliber offensive line.
And you clearly see that he has talent because we had 2 untalented quarterbacks play under the same line with
and we never stood a chance in any of the games. Exactly.
They played like they picked up people off the street because Daniel Jones at least keeps us in the game. We just complain about his little mistakes that he makes, but these guys that they had as his backups were horrendous. And that's where you truly appreciate Daniel Jones. Now, whether you want to stick with Daniel Jones, I mean, that's your, everybody's opinion, whatever. But you clearly see that he's not like trash, like people was trying to make it out. Yeah. He has talent because
he's not.
He made that trash offensive line look at least a little decent because he was running. You know what I'm saying? He got some type of movement.
I mean, you can't fully put the blame on Jones when everybody will agree that aside from Andrew Thomas, they want to replace the other 4 offensive linemen. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right.
How do you? You
can't change offenses every year.
Right,
like it's crazy. Like he's it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see down the line.
All right, so let's go to the third playoff game: Bills versus Chiefs. Now, should I go to Bills versus Chiefs? No, let's say that for last. Let's go Rams versus Buccaneers because it looked like the Rams had this game, and the Buccaneers completely. But now, let's discuss it after. Let's play this first.
Akers. Oh, he lost the ball. And the Buccaneers come up with it at the 30-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh,
who was a has-been,
comes back to bite them. And Ndamukong Suh, as he's done throughout the course of his career.
Detroit Lion.
Brady to the outside. Caught for Brady and company from the 25-yard line. Fournette.
They clearly trying to manage the clock so that he can basically score with hardly any time left, which is typical Tom Brady smartness.
No, but it's a smart move because they never showed they could stop Fournette.
That catch was crazy.
Keep it alive.
This is a great run.
Brady's going to hand it off. It's Fournette. He's going to take it to the end zone.
Another pass spin. I couldn't believe they tied the game. But then I could believe they tied the game.
And then
This right here.
Stafford. Deep downfield. He's got Cup. Stafford. Deep downfield. He's got Cup again.
Cup. Like, out of
He's
all
at the
people, we're
10.
going to keep leaving Cup
Stafford
open.
says, "Let's get
Dak
down there. We
Prescott
gotta-
needed to
we gotta
learn from
clock it.
this
We gotta
right
get the
here.
field goal."
This is what Dak
Clock
Prescott, I
running
hope he was
down.
watching.
They have time. Rams getting set. Getting ready for Matt Gay to come in. He spikes it there.
He's
and
hyped.
Matt
Look at
Gay
Stafford.
will come in and
hyped.
try to win the game.
But you know what? The one thing everybody
30 yards
forgets.
to win the game. Matt Gay
I'll save it for a second.
boots it through. And
What
the
a way to
Rams-
lose.
You know, throughout the entire middle of the season when the Bucs were struggling, everybody forgets where was the Bucs' main struggle all year? Their secondary.
Yeah.
If there was
Secondary.
one weakness on that team,
Yep.
it was the secondary.
But
And
how do you not guard the one guy, the one weapon that they have? And it's not even like underneath passes. He is burning them like back to back. You know that's what they have to do to get downfield in order to get a field goal. So
How?
what is that? Like how? Please, somebody explain to me. How
I'll
do you let
clearly
Cooper
explain it.
Cup burn you twice
I'll
on
clearly
the
explain
same
it.
drive? How? How does that
The
happen?
first one I can see, okay. The first one, okay. The second one, what in the name is Todd Bowles thinking? Blitzing and playing single coverage on Cooper Cup? Are you serious? Are you
the
freaking
crazy-
serious?
the
with
crazy
that?
Every
thing
Jet
there-
fan, every
the
Jet
crazy
fan
thing
was
there,
like,
I'll say to you right now,
I've seen this
I
before.
think that what would have happened right there, if Cooper Cup wasn't open to catch that pass, Odell Beckham would have been open down the sideline it would have been the same result.
But you know what though? If I'm
get
on
it.
another team, let
I know it.
Odell defeat
I
me.
know what you're gonna
Not,
say.
Thank
not,
you.
not, how
No,
you gonna
you're-
keep having Cooper
you're
Cup?
right.
He's the
You
number
can't have
one
Cooper Cup
receiver.
beat you.
He
You're
is
right.
the one
He should
that's
be the
in
MVP of the
contention
league this year.
for MVP this season. He's in
He
contention
should
for
be the
MVP.
MVP.
How you don't have two guys on this guy? Pause.
Exactly. But you know what? Turn it around on the Rams. And how was Mike Evans allowed to catch all those passes knowing
But
that he
did
was
you-
only
did you see that?
only real receiver Tom Brady had on the field?
But did you see the catch and where he threw it up? But see, that's the difference. That
45
that
yards
was
down
a
the
very,
field.
no. I'm talking about that tight window pass that he threw that he caught in
Oh, that
traffic with
window.
two hands in
Yeah.
a drive. See, that's different because that was defended and that was a perfect play by the
Yeah.
quarterback and
Right.
receiver. But with
Right.
Cooper Cup and Stafford,
He's-
he was wide
wide open by
open
10
both
yards.
times. So that's uncovered. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like that's
blown-
no excuse
It's
for
blown
that.
coverage by a team that the secondary
Yes.
was not.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, this is a team. What was it, week 4? They brought in Richard Sherman off the street.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he got hurt. I mean, they were scrambling to fill out that secondary all year.
Well, yeah.
It's honestly not a shock. If you would have told me they got beat in the front 7, they got beat on a running play, I'm going to be shocked. You're telling me you beat the Tampa Bay secondary? I'm sorry. I'm not shocked by that. It's been their kryptonite the entire season.
Why are you blitzing and playing single safety coverage? That's ridiculous.
No,
That
I
was
agree.
so
They should have done better.
ridiculous.
No, as
So
far as
stupid.
the defensive play call, the play calling was bad. The
Bro,
play
it was
calling,
horrible.
You gotta lose your
should've-
job after that.
they
You have
should have
to.
given her more help. And
You gotta
But
lose your
Stafford
job
tried to
after
hand him
that.
the game in the second half too. He was trying to hand him
you
the
know
game.
what though?
Cooper Kupp is the man and everything, but wide
we can come
open.
up with conspiracy theories on that all night. The real question is quarterback number 2 we're going to talk about. Is this the end of Tom Brady and Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay?
Well, like I said, I believe that is. I mean, I understand it, but I just think it's crazy. Like you got a guy who's literally the top 3 quarterback in the league, right? Constantly, even at this age, he's 44. At this age, he's the top 3 quarterback in the league. I don't even know why it's a question because obviously he still has the talent to be great. He's not even okay. He's still a great quarterback because he had 0 weapons and he still brung that team back, even though it was the Rams that allowed him to come back because they kept having all these stupid mistakes and everything. But you cannot allow that many mistakes to happen when you got a Tom Brady. But now Tom Brady always said, I want to play to 45. So next year he'll be 45. Now his team is declining. Everybody's getting hurt. I mean, but and on the other hand, they had nobody on that team anyway before he got there, and then they picked up scraps off the street. So are they going to continue doing that, or is the writing on the wall now that this is the end? That's kind of
but
the
I'll let you
deciding
answer that
factors for
question
me.
first. I'll answer after you.
On Sunday, I was convinced 100% that Tom Brady and BA were coming back to run it back for one more season. Tom Brady is probably the most competitive athlete since Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant that we've ever seen. But listening to him today, listening to him last night, I don't know. I'm not as convinced as I was on Sunday that he won't retire, because it's not about I can't do it. It's about his family now. He's talking about his kids. He's talking about his wife. He's talking about being there as a father. And he's talking about he's accomplished everything that he set out for. Jim Gray put him on the spot and tried to bait Tom Brady the best way you can. And goes, "You're going to tell me, knowing you're okay with it ending like that." And he said, "I am okay with everything this team accomplished this season, and I am okay with what I accomplished in my career." That sounds like a guy that if he makes this decision, he's at peace with it. And he also continued, he was like, if I'm not 100% committed to play, somebody else deserves the chance.
Okay, so I'll agree with what Billy said to a point. Okay, I saw the interview myself, the same thing. I think Brady is going to wait what happens to Bruce Arians. Okay, because those two have really never gotten along. He's waiting to see if Byron Leftwich is going to be named the head coach of Tampa. If he's named the head coach, he's coming back for another year. He's coming back for another year.
I personally think
if he retires, Gronk's going too. Gronk will leave also.
Did you guys see when Antonio Brown posted on IG after they lost?
Oh yeah, Bucs eliminated. Yeah. And today he's posted videos of himself in a Ravens jersey, because I'm sure they want him. That's what they need.
Well, like I said, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Leftwich, where he's going to go to coach. He's coaching somewhere next year.
I think Leftwich right now, I honestly think it's Jacksonville, or he's back for another year. And I have a feeling if he comes back, there's going to be a deal in place that Bruce Arians is going to finish out his contract. He's going to coach next year. And then I think, I'm the reverse of you. I think Arians is more likely to retire if Brady retires. I think that if Brady decides to retire, Bruce Arians, knowing that this team now pretty much needs to rebuild.
You got it, Lonnie.
Arians is going to go. And if Byron Leftwich is still there, he'll be named the coach of that team.
That's what I'm thinking. Leftwich will be named the coach. Okay. Let's go to the fun.
Now, this was like, the game was good from the beginning. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this was like a beginning to end great game.
So wait, I gotta ask you a question first. Time out.
Go ahead,
is there actually a woman that comes to watch the show because of Lou?
Yes.
Am I understanding this right?
That is correct.
I thought most leave because of Lou. Like, I'm confused here.
She's definitely a huge Lou backer. She's definitely a Lou backer. You know,
there is a first time for everything, I guess.
I've been giving her crap because most of the time when Lou's not here, she doesn't show up. And so now she's stepping up to the plate right now, and I appreciate it, Lonnie. Thank you very much. Shout out to you.
Okay, now.
You're not a psycho. Now, this game started off great. Had little, stale moments in the middle, but then at the end of this game was the fireworks. Let's get into the fireworks right now. Hold on, let's get this to the fireworks.
Here they come. Tries to dump it off, shouldn't have been caught. Singletary holds on to it for a massive loss. You got to chip on the edge.
This is 2 minutes left.
Have them come up on the inside. Some of these guys. Allen fires it into wide open.
Wow.
Remarkable. Touchdown, Buffalo. Davis
This
again.
kid is good. I got to admit to Lou. Allen is definitely a talent, man.
Billy, what did I say Friday? One of his main weapons was going to be Gabriel Davis in this game.
Yeah.
And Davis had a game.
Try to make it a 3-point lead. Circling around.
Look at this guy.
Now looks. Flings it back in the end zone. There's Diggs. Caught it for the 2. You got the best on the other side.
That's
I think, right
Mahomes said, "Hold my beer."
Launches it. Complete. Kelsey. Down the middle.
That's it. Tariq Hill, man.
Cuts it upfield.
They said, "Forget the field goal. Forget the field goal. We going all the way."
City takes the lead with a minute to go.
Yo, Tariq Hill, man.
64
People sleep on this kid.
incredible yards. Now we talk
Former
about Josh
returner.
Allen need to make a huge play. This
Huge
place is going
receiver.
crazy. And then all of a sudden you got Super
1 minute left.
comes out.
And I said, "All right, 1 minute left." I said, "Man, is this enough time?"
Exhale from Mahomes. Now the next play, second down. Zips it. Got it. It's Davis in the secondary.
This kid
and
Davis,
knocked
man.
down. And soft. On the sideline, again, it's Davis in Western New York. Here he goes. All caught and a flag down. That's Emmanuel Sanders at the 19. There's going to be plenty of time for some throws into the end zone.
17 seconds
On the
left.
19 and 17 seconds. Down the middle to the end zone, and there it is!
Touchdown. You couldn't tell me that the game wasn't over right here. I'm just saying. Right,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sitting in the living room, and
Already
I'm
counting
like,
the money.
"Oh, man,
Yeah.
this is how
Already
it
getting the
ends."
money.
I said, "Go ahead, Bills."
Touchdown number 4
And then
tonight
Pat
for
Mahomes
Davis.
said, "This is
I
why
want you to watch the
I'm the GOAT."
communication up here. They're going to talk. He's going to talk. He's going to talk. All of a sudden, Baker comes in. This is where the communication, and all of a sudden, they're late, getting all the way inside. Can't believe that defense got beaten up like that. This go. Here's Hill. And they call timeout quickly. They actually have a chance.
This
to
is
get
this
Buccaneers
is
field goal
time
into
management right
Hail
here.
Mary kicks. No, it's not. They'll throw it right away.
Two
Right now,
plays.
someone in the middle.
Boom.
In the middle. Oh my goodness! It's going to be a 48-yard attempt.
I could not believe
Only
this was
48
happening.
yards. That's what it'll be.
Yo,
right there.
what a
I'm so
game.
nervous. So hundreds of thousands around the planet. The kick.
And
Let's
once they
go!
won the coin flip, I said, "This is
It's going
GG's.
overtime.
There's no way Kansas City not scoring." That's
Second
what
and
I
6.
said.
Oh yeah, I mean at that point, you know whoever
Good
got
tackle
won
by
the coin flip.
Edmonds.
Yeah.
Rolling out, flinging it, open. First down.
And you know he wasn't going for no field goal.
No, because there was no way they wanted to put that ball back in. I mean, they would have had to if it got the
goal
ball
range
back.
at the
There was
38.
no way they wanted to put that ball back in Josh Allen's
First
hand.
down.
No way.
This time, sidearm. Hill backs up, got away.
This kid Hill's crazy, bro.
Hyde. From the pocket, wide open. Hardman. We've seen this already. As he takes off and goes out of bounds. Looking to the end zone for the win.
Kelsey,
He caught
the
it.
shorthand man.
Ball game. Chiefs to the championship game.
Can I ask y'all a question? Is Kelsey that good, or is Mahomes the reason why Kelsey's that good? Because
No,
like if
they
Kelsey
are both that
was-
good. They
No,
are
but
both
if-
that good, and they
so-
both deserve the acclaim.
So
They
if
are
Kelsey
both-
was on
yeah.
Jacksonville or wherever the
Yes.
case may be, Kelsey
He
still
is
would be
that.
this
He
good?
is that
Because
good. And so is
Kelsey's that
Patrick
good, yeah.
Mahomes.
holy cow!
Yeah,
They are
Like,
both
come
that good.
on, like this game. Like I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I'm not a fan of any of these teams. And I was totally thrilled about this game. Like it was as if the Giants were playing. Like that's how
No,
exciting
the game. It was. I said it. It was without a doubt the best fourth quarter of football I have ever seen. And I told these guys the other night, and I'll say it again. We've been alive through a lot of great quarterbacks. We've seen a lot of the greats play. They put out Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes played the best games at the position I've ever seen. And I tip my hat really to both of them.
What I don't like is people saying that they played zero defense at the end of the game. Like you got to put it in perspective. Like these guys played crazy good.
Oh, they were
defense
winded.
in that
They were
whole
winded as
middle.
shit.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's
But there's
crazy.
two ways. And
then
I
you
know
got
which way
two
Chet's going to
great
go with this.
quarterbacks
Yeah.
at the end doing what they got to do.
Here's-
That was theater right there. Theater.
Yeah, here's the thing, okay? And I said this Sunday. I'll say it again. And if anybody wants to disagree with me, you look me up. Josh Allen outplayed Mahomes by far.
Absolutely.
By
Yes.
far. Period.
I mean, you can get red face. You can red face all you want.
I
But
mean,
Mahomes stepped
I'm
up
not
when
done
it
yet.
counted.
They both did.
Mahomes
They both
stepped
stepped
up when
up.
it counted. Because I'm telling you right now, if you're down with 13 seconds left, I'm sorry. Like I don't even think
Here's
Josh
the issue.
Allen would have gotten that
No.
done. Like that was
No,
crazy.
this is
13
on
seconds?
this is on the coaching for the Buffalo Bills. And I said this to Billy on Sunday. The issue is not how they walk down the field. Why are Buffalo taking 2 timeouts before each play?
Yeah.
That's what you're playing. You saw the highlights. First play, you're playing 22 yards off the ball. Come on, you got to be kidding me.
Well, see, you got to
Second
remember.
one, nobody's on
in their
Kelsey on the
mind,
line, and nobody's
their
on Kelsey
mind-
on the line.
In their mind, they're saying we don't want to get beat with the big play.
But
So-
here's
so-
what it was.
And I hate
defen-
that. I hate that.
Here's the story of the defense in this game. There were
Yeah.
2 different sides of defense in this game. Steve Spagnuolo went in there with the Chiefs defense, and there was no way he was going to allow Stephon Diggs to beat him. And he almost got beat by everybody else on the team.
Can
Everybody
I
else,
can I
He
can
was
I
not
side
gonna
note
let-
you and let you continue? Let me side note you and let you continue. What you just said is exactly what I've been trying to say with Cooper
About
Kupp
Yes,
and all
exactly.
of what you're
No,
saying right now
yeah.
is gospel. That's what I want. That right there.
Steve Spagnuolo was determined to not let Stephon Diggs beat him.
I'm gonna sit here
Leslie
with Dolan.
Frazier did not make sure that Kelsey or Hill did not beat.
Think about it.
Buffalo
Think about it
Bills.
though. Hill was pretty much quiet most of the game until the fourth quarter. He really was.
But still, they did not do enough at the end of that game
Right.
to make sure Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey do not beat us. You know what? If you got to double them and man McCall Hardman, Pringle, let those be the guys.
But you know what's crazy? Pringle had a good mid game, like because he was getting busy in the middle of the game, and then Hartman had that big pass play at the end of the game. But at the end of the day,
my thing is the next to last play.
Hill is too shifty,
you
bro.
show the highlight. How is nobody on Kelsey on the line? There's nobody there.
Well, no, it's not. It's not that.
On him.
It's not that on the line. They met him in the backfield, but he's so tall that he still got that pass catch over the dude in the end zone because he was covered. He wasn't wide open.
Overtime. I'm talking about they're going to overtime.
Oh, going
the catch
into
he made
overtime.
on that. Yeah, nobody's on him. Collinsworth said things. What are they nuts? Why are you not putting? I mean, not Romo. Why are you not sitting there putting somebody in bump and run him on the line?
I get.
You're gonna bump him though. Honestly,
those defenses were winded. I will not take the quarterback play of Allen or Mahomes away and downgrade it with bad mouthing the defense. But I will say, Leslie Frazier's game plan at the end of that game, or lack thereof, maybe is a better term,
horrific.
Is what cost the Buffalo Bills that game.
Is what is horrific.
Great game, though. It was a great game.
Yes.
I can't walk away out of that game dissing the other team. You know what I'm saying? Like you can nitpick.
What's there to diss? These guys, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes is going to be the Brady and Manning that we talk about now.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big thing.
Don't forget about Herbert. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about there's a lot of young quarterbacks.
The quarterbacks we don't even have to bring up the rookies. You just look at those 4 guys. You throw Joey Burrow in there because he damn well deserves it.
That's what I'm saying.
I wish Steele was here because what was Steele saying? Going back to the Rams, what was he saying about the Rams quarterback?
What was he saying?
No. What was he saying? Who was he saying?
I don't remember.
He wasn't saying Stafford.
Oh, Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
He called him Sam Bradford.
He just called him Sam Bradford.
But you know what the funny thing is? We're talking about all these quarterbacks. We're forgetting another huge one in the AFC, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, forget about it. And he's younger. He's younger than Burrow.
Yes,
right?
That's how loaded. That's how loaded the AFC is at the quarterback position.
Yep.
And that's why it's even. I keep saying Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play in the AFC.
No,
it's not going to happen.
I think, and that's why it was smart of Brady to go to the NFC last year.
Yeah.
and you know what? I want to end this football thing. We're true to New York here. So I'm going to end it with one thing.
Okay.
People slamming Aaron Rodgers. People slamming Ryan Tannehill. I told you, Aaron Rodgers is Peyton Manning with a better personality. But you know what it really comes down to?
What's that?
Tell me how much more all us Giant fans appreciate Eli Manning and what he did in those big games after watching that.
Absolutely.
I've been a huge
Absolutely.
Eli fan, and
So
I
have I.
get killed about it, and I don't care. Absolutely. And Eli was getting the same issues with the offensive line to the end of his career, which I guess eventually took him into retirement because they
Yeah.
want to keep blaming Eli. But Eli had zero time. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you put back there. If you're not going to give
There's
a time,
nothing. There is nothing bad you could say about Eli Manning in a postseason game, in a big end of the season game. There's not a word.
nope.
So
I agree.
that's why it even, I watch all these people badmouth these other guys who, and again, I'm going to stick with that. Aaron Rodgers is the Barry Bonds of the NFL.
I'll use one word. I'll use one word for Eli that nobody's saying, okay, in these big situations. Clutch.
Exactly.
Yeah, Eli's
And you know what? I always like Barry Bonds because you know why? Barry Bonds wasn't fake. He wasn't phony. Barry Bonds was a prick. And
he didn't like you.
And he
He
owns
knew
it.
it.
He still is a prick.
And Aaron Rodgers
He
is
still
the same
is.
way. Aaron Rodgers is the same way. He owned it.
Yep. Let him take his discount.
Look who decided to join after football's over.
Yes.
Look who joined after football's
Listen,
over.
I wasn't gonna come on, bro. I was just gonna enjoy this. I was listening.
All right, first off, don't start with this. You wasn't gonna come on. Okay, let's recalibrate. I know you're late. You know what I'm saying? The show's almost over, but we're not gonna jump on this show and start talking crazy. You ready?
I was not going to join.
Hey, Steele.
But I heard this guy. Hold on, Chet. I heard this guy talking about how. I mean, I know the guy played a great football game, but he said he totally outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I was. You see, I was yelling at him too. Like, yo, he red face. I'm like, bro,
Absolutely.
he didn't totally outplay him. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he had the game.
Absolutely.
He had the game of his life. The better quarterback. I think that game didn't win. I think, the guy had a better game, but he didn't totally outplay.
By the way, Steele, how's Sam Bradford doing? By the way, you talked to him this week?
Yeah, I spoke to him earlier. I mean, and he's trying to figure out. That's why I got on too. He's trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Now you just make the perfect time to show up, Steele. What's the next thing we're going to, Boogie? What's next?
Okay, since we want to talk about bad coaching, like he was killing bowls and stuff like that. Now, this is my first time publicly. I'm gonna diss Thibodeau. Okay. Now, this was yesterday's game against the Cavaliers.
Going from Leslie Frazier to Tom Thibodeau. Jesus Christ.
Listen, this was a very Todd Bowles' type of play calling right here. Okay. So before I play this, as you can see, it's 94-93 Cavaliers. The Knicks got the basketball with 7 seconds left. Right. So they called this play. Now you're looking at Randall with the basketball. They clearly overload. This is like an overload play. As you see, you got everybody over there to the right. You got Grimes as the shooter at the hash, and now you got RJ Barrett, 47,000 feet at the top of the key. Right now, who's the better shooter, Grimes or Barrett for the 3-point line?
Barrett.
Grimes is the better 3-point shooter. So you got him at the hash, and you got Barrett all the way. Obviously, he's wide open because Rondo's not going to defend him 45 feet away from the basket, right? So now this is the play. Now, mind you, we're down 1. We don't need a 3, right? Yep. But this is the play call he calls.
Bounces back. Barrett for the lead. Missed it. Rebounded by Mobley.
Luckily, the guy who can't hit free throws is the guy who gets the rebound, and they foul him.
Mobley gets fouled.
Wait. Could you pause it for a second, Bo?
I'm going to pause it after this missed free throw. So
the Knicks do have a timeout remaining.
He makes the first one, right? 2 seconds left.
One more coming for the rookie out of Southern
We're
Cal.
down 2. He misses it.
All right, this is my problem. Before we go any further,
okay.
When you said who was the better 3-point shooter, it is Grimes. I was saying who shot it, like Barrett shot the ball.
I said who is the better? The way they had it set up, as if they wanted Barrett to have it.
Right, Grimes should have been the top of the key.
Grimes should have been top of the key. Yes. Barrett should have been hash.
Oh, continue, my boy.
Or Barrett could have been in the corner, because like at the end of the day, Barrett's highest percentage shot is in the corner, not a top of the key shot, not from that far.
Hold on. Let's not even go any further. That's my problem with Tibbs in the first place. Because if Randall is not doing his thing or Barrett's not, he doesn't go away from them. It has to be them or nobody. And that's why the Knicks constantly lose. Continue.
And Obi Toppin, this game was shooting the three. Grimes was shooting the three. So there was no excuse like they weren't hitting. They were hitting. Randall was 8 for 7,000 this game. You know what I'm saying? So, and he had the basketball, but he made the right basketball play because that's what they called. All right. So now they're going into a timeout.
Rebounded by Randall.
1.7 seconds left. Let's look at the field right here. Right? We got Julius Randle running up to the top of the key. We got Grimes about to cut into the basket. We got Barrett about to run to the hash, and we got Emmanuel Quickly setting a pick.
Why?
So we got Emmanuel Quickly, who should be a shooter. We got Grimes, who should be a shooter, and they're both going underneath the three-point line. Now, mind you, we're only down 2, so we don't need a 3. So shouldn't Barrett and Randall be the ones going to the basket? And shouldn't they be the ones going up to the top? I'm just correct me if I'm wrong.
Run the play, Boogie. Run the play.
Brooks is the trigger man. Having some trouble getting it in. Randall, tough shot. Way off.
That's your game-winning game plan out of a timeout?
But first of
You
all,
want Randall to Dex at the top of the key for a fadeaway from 50 feet away?
I'm not a Thibodeau fan, okay? And I'm not a Randall fan at all. But as a basketball player, when there's seconds left on the clock, I am going towards the basket, not away from the basket.
Exactly.
Where is
the Knicks don't do that? The Knicks aren't. They don't build the team that way. They want to be behind the three, and that's what they want to do.
I understand what you're saying, but I am a star player. I am Julius Randle, right? I'm not known for taking 40-foot 3-point shots.
He was away 40-foot.
So why wouldn't, even if he was going to take the 3, why not fake the foul to the foul line and then pop out and shoot? He's already 2 feet behind the line from the beginning of the play.
Dexys, it goes even farther out.
He was
for
like
the 3.
10 behind the line.
But this is what I'm trying to say. This had to be a play call. This is not a freestyle like they got the inbound and they had to make do what they had to do. No. They had a timeout to discuss where they wanted to be. And who set this play? Thibodeau. And like I said, they need a tool. They need a tool to tie it.
One of the biggest problems with the Knicks, I'll tell you right now, is they don't even realize it. But I mean, I see it all the time. The Knicks miss Derrick Rose more than you can imagine.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
They don't know.
And Derrick Rose took it to the basket right there. Exactly. He said, "Give me the rock, and I'm going to the basket."
That team overachieved last year, and it's kind of hurting them this year because they didn't do enough to improve. Because you know what, they wanted to concede Julius Randle was a star because of what he did last year. No, he's not. He's a solid number 2, but you know what? I'm not going to argue that. I can't. I'll give him the 2, but I can't argue.
Right, so can you answer this question for me? So we made a trade for Cam Reddish, right? For a guy who wasn't playing, right? Cam Reddish clearly isn't the less talented person on this team. So his first game, he was scoring, and then he didn't see the court again after that. So now he didn't see the court at all yesterday, right? So explain to me, who that's in the rotation right now should sit for him to have minutes? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, me personally, I love how Burks plays for us, but when he's not hitting, I think he should sit when he's not hitting.
Oh, it's got to be. When he's not hitting, the same position. It's got to be one or the other. And when the way Burks has been playing lately, Burks should be out and Reddish should be in.
Yo, if Thibodeau wants to stick to the Thibodeau plan, he benched Walker because Walker wasn't doing anything, right? Right or wrong? That's what he said.
But he put Grimes in. But he put Grimes in quickly.
Hold on. I'm okay with. He sat him, right? He benched
he's talking about completely. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Burks has been playing awful. For at least the last 4 games. Bench him.
So
if that's your way,
let me bring up another point. You are wasting a talent in Obi Toppin. He's wasting him.
He's wasting Obi. He's wasting Grimes. He's wasting.
So good
listen,
Obi Toppin.
You know who he's not wasting? He's not wasting Quickly because Quickly's been clinking. So
No.
wasting
You know
Quickly.
what? But I think quickly he eased through the
He's trying
cracks
to learn.
because
He's trying to learn the
he's
point guard. That's
he's
what it is.
all right. But he's
Obi
wasting
Toppin should play a
McBride.
lot more.
He's wasting McBride in Rochester right now.
The
He's wasting a lot, man.
The best way to summarize this up is a problem with Tom Thibodeau is he's overexposing role players. These guys are role players, and he's overexposing them. Guys like Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, giving them these guys should be given time to develop and time to play. Right? Yeah. But no, you'd rather take Obi Toppin out and put Burks in and constantly give Burks. Burks is a role player. He will fit a great role for you. In the long term, though, you're going to find out why Burks isn't a top NBA player if you keep running him out there 25, 30 minutes.
Right.
You're going to see why.
I think
he's not at the top of the NBA.
But they've developed Barrett pretty well because he's definitely showing improvement year after year.
This year, yes.
So I like what they're doing with Barrett. But
you can't hate on Barrett.
Yeah,
you can't hate on Barrett.
No, definitely.
The other problem is
Randall,
they don't have any of those three guys behind you on that team.
Randall has other issues going on to me personally because you see he got the little war going on with the media. He got the war going on with the fans. I think he hasn't listened to the advice that other people have gave
Barkley gave him. Everybody gave him good advice.
Stop listening. Like he's getting caught up. He's getting caught up too much. He got that big contract. He's trying to give himself extra responsibility that he doesn't need to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, now he's getting frustrated with the fans and the media. Like, bro, that has nothing to do with what you're doing on the court.
The bottom line comes down to is the only thing Julius Randle was ready to accept for being a star in New York was the paycheck.
Yeah.
Because the game's not there right now. The mental game is definitely not there.
That's what I'm saying. His mind's not in it.
He was there. He was ready for the check. He wasn't ready for the responsibility that came along with it.
Right.
And here's the thing about Randall. I'm seeing his stats in his last 5 years. His field goal percentage. In 2017 with the Lakers, he was shooting 56% from the floor. Right now, as of today, he's barely shooting 41% from the floor.
All right, let me tell you why he was shooting 56%. Let me tell you why he was shooting 56% from the floor with the Lakers. It's because he was always in the paint. The Lakers had him nowhere by the three-point line. No. He was not shooting any threes at all, probably with the Lakers. He was down low. That was Kobe's job to take those jump shots. Hey, listen, anybody can shoot 56% for the field, taking layups.
But it's going down.
That's his strength, taking middies.
The Knicks are trying to play Larry Bird, Steph Curry basketball, but they don't have Larry Bird or Steph Curry. That's the problem.
Listen, if they played the basketball they played last year, they'll be successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and you want to know what's crazy? It's frustrating.
They're not playing defense still.
Their record is pretty similar to what it was last year.
Yeah.
Listen, no, why it's similar because they're still a gritty team. But games like last night,
they should have won that.
They won those last year.
They should have won that one. You're right.
Those games are won last year.
I know if there's people out there that don't like Toppin. There are people out there that can say plenty of things about Toppin, and a lot of the criticism is deserved. But the fact of the matter is, developing that kid, the energy he brings, I think you can end up with a damn good player in Obi Toppin and a different element to your team, which they're not looking to bring in. That's why they need Derrick Rose, because they accept Derrick Rose as a different element, a guy that drives to the basket, a guy that gets in there. Like, no, they don't do that. They're all out there fading back 20 feet or more, and they want to try to live like that.
They're definitely relying on the three a lot.
Listen, they play that house bowling. You know those guys that strike a lot but can't get no spares? That's what the Knicks are.
Yes.
That guy right there. That guy right there.
Who are you pointing to?
You.
You definitely talk about me because my spare percentage is immaculate. I don't know what you're talking about.
But
I wish I was bowling again. Oh, and I wish
you was too. I wish you was too.
No, I'm gonna tell you
the way you talk trash. I'll be happy to take your money.
I talk trash. I back it up.
I'll be happy to take your money.
I know we talk a lot of football, baseball, basketball stuff on this show, but I wanted to talk. That's what I want to jump on to. I want to talk a little bit of bowling, just a little bit, a touch.
Okay.
All right. Now I was watching, and it was sporadic because the football games was outstanding. I caught a little bit of the end. I take my bowling. Now I seen guys talking about how they would rather would rather bowl like regular UBA events and not giving these PBA guys respect on the patterns that they're bowling on and stuff. Let me tell y'all something. I seen y'all posts, okay? These guys are bowling on patterns, you house bowlers. These guys are not bowling on house shots that y'all struggle on. Y'all 240 bowlers on house shots. Y'all 130 on the patterns that these guys are bowling on. So don't be disrespectful. These guys are talented bowlers.
Why don't
Okay?
you call out who you're referring to?
Somebody.
This is a call out show, so please.
Yes,
one person said that.
Who?
What's the guy's name?
Who?
The guy that Dougie Vision guy was on there talking about how his events are better than PBA bowling. What the hell is he? Is he out of his mind?
Oh, God, yeah.
Dougie, stop it. Slow down. You got your little followers. Stay there. Stay in your lane. None of your followers are PBA bowlers.
Spicy.
Okay? Stop it.
In Dougie's defense, Dougie is actually someone that says things like that in good fun. He does not believe that or take that seriously. There are people, I 100% agree with you, that do take that seriously and do believe that. Dougie is a great guy.
Boogie, I've seen some of Dougie's stuff, and I've seen PBA guys bowling on there, like Kyle True.
Yep.
I've seen on there Alex, Kevin Arrow. I've seen those guys bowling those stuff.
Kyle Troop's bowled there.
Let me say,
Frankie Lavoie's bowled there.
When I see a Dougie Vision,
Kevin Williams,
two different patterns, talk to me.
Okay.
Not a dried up house shot.
But that you can't put on him. He'll do it. The people won't show up. That's the problem. That's not on him. He'd run the event. If he could get the people, he'd run the event in a heartbeat. And I'll swear to that.
Listen, I don't doubt he won't run the event. But the people that are here that are bigging him up and talking about how good they are, Boogie, I see the look on your face. You know who I'm talking about. Listen, stop it. Y'all are not that good. Y'all almost made me come out of character just now. I almost said something I didn't want to say. Stop it. Y'all are not that good.
And public service announcement is sponsored by the UBA.
Y'all are not that good. Okay, these pro athletes deserve some respect. Get out of here, man. Y'all UBA clown bowlers. Get out of here. Anyway, continue.
Let's end the show on a topic that currently happened today. Big Papi is the Hall of Famer.
Oh my God.
He's the only one elected to the Hall of Fame. Fellas, does this open the door for the rest of the PED users? And if he got accepted today, why didn't Bonds or Clemens get accepted with him?
It really just opens the door for the Baseball Writers Association to do whatever the hell they want, because there is no rhyme or reason behind what happened today at all. I mean, there is an argument to be made that Major League Baseball has more evidence of PED use by David Ortiz than they ever had on Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens. Because remember, neither one of those, say what you want, we could all assume, accuse, whatever. They've never been found guilty, and both of these men have been in court for it. They've never been found guilty of it. Alex Rodriguez, different story. Admitted it, was suspended for it after the fact. No, he doesn't deserve to be there. But you're going to let one in? But no, they're going to pick and choose. And this was the baseball writers really just giving an FU to everybody and saying, we're going to do what we want. And David Ortiz is a likable guy. So, yeah, we're going to let him in.
And at the end of the day, Barry Bonds and Clemens and McGuire and all these guys, they were in a time when this wasn't a rule. You understand what I'm saying? Like what Billy was saying off camera, the amphetamines thing. Like these guys were taking that prior to the steroids. So all this stuff wasn't illegal at the time. So once it becomes illegal, then if you're gonna punish these players, absolutely. But if it's something that wasn't illegal, how are you gonna punish these players? Regardless,
I mean, they deserve to be
in.
I'm not a Bonds fan. Yeah, I'm not a Bonds fan. I'm not a Clemens fan. Okay, Bonds deserves to be in there. Okay, for everything he's done. Clemens, on the other hand, it says some derogatory stuff in the past to the baseball writers. I also like Kurt Schilling. That's why he didn't get in either.
Well, when you talk about derogatory, Eddie Murray constantly had bad stuff with the press and the media and stuff like that, and he was a clear Hall of Famer, and it did take him a little bit to get in there, but he got in there. So I don't want to hear the stuff.
No, but I'm saying that, as I said, Bonds deserves, period. I'm not arguing that, period.
But you know what, though? How about this? This is about their accomplishments on the baseball field.
Right.
And as of accomplishments on the baseball field, Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens deserve to be in there. If you want to take out the things you think about them or you think you know about them, you know what? Let's go into Cooperstown and take down the plaques of every guy that beat the shit out of his wife or was a drunk or was popping greenies before they took the field or probably during games or was doing coke in the clubhouse.
You can start for the first day of the Hall of Fame, Babe Ruth. There's your first guy you can take down.
Or the racist.
Yeah,
listen.
Let's start going after everybody's character then.
What they need to do it because Major League Baseball killed Major League Baseball. Let's just call it what it is. This would have never happened in basketball. This would have never happened in football. They would have protected their own. Major League Baseball would just threw those guys and they thought everybody was going to get on that horse. But people were like, wait a minute, hey, hold on. Everybody was doing it. How are you going to single out these guys?
Because think about it like this. Look at football and baseball, like you said. I mean, I'm not baseball. Football and basketball. Like, guys have been caught using PEDs, but then you don't hear about it after that because they don't care.
They protect their brand. See, Major League Baseball, they just threw the guys out there like they wasn't a part of the brand. Let me tell you something. Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire was the face of baseball for years.
And Sammy Sosa.
Well, we don't know what Sammy Sosa
but what I'm trying to say is that whole thing that they had, that revived
the guy
baseball
that killed these guys' candidates for the Hall of Fame. You bring up McGwire, it's Jose Canseco when he came out with the book.
Listen, let's not give him no credit. That's
what I think has killed these guys.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Growing up, Jose Canseco was one of my favorite players growing up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Him and McGwire.
That's what killed these guys. All these guys from the McGwires, the Palmeiros, the Bondses. That's what killed him. Is him with the book and all those interviews.
Let me ask you a question and Boogie, you a baseball guy, right?
Yes.
Now, Major League Baseball changed the baseballs last year because they didn't like the fact that the year before that the baseballs were stitched a different way and the balls were flying out the park, right?
Right.
Do they do that in basketball?
They changed the basketball. They changed the basketball.
They changed the basketball, and what happened in the middle of the season? Right.
People were shooting bad.
And they went right back to the original basketball, right? Right. Major League Baseball watched the whole season, watched people not watch because no one was hitting the long ball. It was unwatchable. The pitchers, they blew the pitchers up. I mean, we grew up watching baseball with the guys with pine tar on their necks and on their hats. You can see it.
But
we knew it was wrong.
But the thing is, right, in baseball, if you look at all through history of baseball has always changed stuff. Like, you always got like the dead ball era, and you got the times where like for instance, like, look at the time when Ricky Henderson was stealing over 100 bases. You're not seeing nobody stealing 100 bases now because the game changed. You know what I'm saying? There's no base stealing now. There's no St. Louis Cardinals.
And the guys who do run like that, they don't let people play 162 games anymore.
Exactly.
These guys
Look what happened to pitching in the 60s.
I'm about to say, look at relieving and starters. Pitchers play the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Now you got situational pitchers for the bullpen now. You know what I'm saying? You got they want to bring DH to the National League now to boost offense. Like, they always change stuff. They change the mound height.
Here's the two things I may never see in my lifetime now. In the two things I'm never probably going to see the rest of my lifetime: a 400 hitter in baseball and a 300 game winning pitcher.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You might see a 400 hitting guy.
You got a better chance at a 400 hitter.
There's guys that's been hitting
370 again. I'll tell you.
370.
I'll tell you that much right now. But the baseball writers have been allowed to run this thing and make a total sham of it. I listened to Jeff Passan today. He gave up his vote because of what goes on there and the hypocrisy that comes from both sides in this. Like Joe Morgan, I was telling you guys before, Joe Morgan from a couple of years ago. Oh, he's talking all this. Keep them out of our hall. Keep prestige in our hall. Yeah, and you know what? He was in a clubhouse full of guys, and he's also the same guy that petitioned to let Pete Rose in. I mean, he's in a clubhouse full of guys popping amphetamines. He's petitioning to let Pete Rose in, but he wants to draw the line here. We don't get to dictate it. This is what it is. They were never found guilty of anything. Would you, if this guy killed, they didn't kill anyone. They were never found guilty of anything.
And during that era, I hate to say it, 80 and 90% of the guys was doing it. It wasn't like
they were all doing something wrong. I guarantee you, there's players still doing something wrong that they're not testing for today. There's things out there. You want to go after people like Alex Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez, who continued to say screw you to the system and do it and admitted it and got suspended for it.
Henry Mejia caught 3 times.
Exactly. Yeah. But he'll never be. I'm talking about guys that had legitimate shots at the Hall of Fame.
I know, but he's literally the only person who did that.
Like, you want to keep Alex Rodriguez. You want to keep Alex Rodriguez out. You want to keep Manny Ramirez out because you feel they spit in the face of the game after the fact. I'm with you. But now you're going to tell me, oh, what David Ortiz did, and because David Ortiz is a likable, fun-loving guy, we're cool with that. But Roger Clemens, screw you. Barry Bonds, screw you. Kurt Schilling, screw. Like, but it's just not. It's not.
It's
right.
refreshing that she got you a drink and didn't throw drawers at you this time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is my question, and I can never understand it. Why are these writers still in control? Why aren't the people that are already in the hall deciding who should be the next group that's in the hall?
I think I think they're part of the veterans committee. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's a different. Yeah,
I'm talking about. It shouldn't be writers. The writers shouldn't have. First of all, who reads the paper anymore?
Well, that's the thing. That's why baseball is
not you, old guy.
That's why baseball is still antiquated in a lot of ways because, like I said, baseball writers were very important to baseball for a very, very long time. And so now everything's digital. People are still writing in the newspaper. It's just that you read it on the computer now.
But you know what? The baseball writers still are very important. And as far as their job goes, I'm not going to take that away from them. This is a broken system. If this was a broken system in our country, there'd be riots to get it stopped and fix it. It needs to be fixed, just like any other broken system out there. And it needs to evolve. And that's what they're not doing. And they're continuing, they let someone turn around and say straight out they didn't vote for Ken Griffey because they really didn't like him. They didn't vote for the Boston writer didn't vote for Derek Jeter because I'm from Boston. No,
the one writer, yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These guys are admitting that they're letting their personal feelings and personal grudges affect their vote. No, it's not right.
No, right. Listen, Alex Rodriguez right now is damn near the face of baseball. He's on every channel. He's on every show. He's doing everything with baseball. He's about to have a show with Michael Kay right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, please. So come on, man. So he's not good enough for the Hall, but he's good enough to be his face all over the baseball.
But again, Alex Rodriguez to me is a different story.
That's a TV station.
Alex Rodriguez was found guilty, and Alex Rodriguez spit in the face of baseball. And after he was found, he was caught once. He did it again. Alex Rodriguez was suspended for an entire season.
Robinson Cano.
Exactly. These guys, that's a totally different ballgame. I'm talking right now about the people that you have nothing more than your opinion and your thoughts on, and you're holding that against the accomplishments they made on the field. It's not right.
Robinson Cano, again, I can't decide who does what, but Robinson Cano did those things to try to get back on the field. Alex Rodriguez was hurt. He was doing those things to try to get back on the field. These guys are not taking steroids and PEDs just to be pumping them into their bodies. They're doing it to try to get back on the field.
But they still did it. They did it.
But they did it after the rule, right? Like
they did it in a legal way. Right. If a truck driver told you he was snorting an 8-ball because he was on a long route, the cop's not going to say, "Okay, buddy, just go ahead. Just finish it over here and go on your way." No, the guy's still going to jail. Alex Rodriguez still took a banned substance. There are other ways they could have
other substances that he could have taken to get back on the field.
Bro,
they haven't banned yet.
They made it damn near impossible.
Yo, I don't know
they jumped off the bridge, bro.
Still, I don't know if you know, but if correct me if I'm wrong, but they have a list of things that's banned. So if they have a list of things that's banned, that means that there's still stuff that they can take in that realm that's not banned. You understand what I'm saying? So then if that's the case, if you're trying to hurry up and get this your healing process faster, then go on a list and stop relying on your doctors, because I didn't know what my doctors is putting in my body. Stop relying on your doctors and specify, listen, I read up on it. You're a doctor. Give me what's the best thing that's on this qualified list.
It's not even about doctors. These guys are. You don't think Alex Rodriguez, especially back then, had his own personal trainer? You don't think Cano has one right now? They have people that can help them do it the right way. They chose to take the easy way out. That's a completely different story. These other guys, again, I'm going to go with they are innocent till proven guilty because not one of them has been proven guilty of doing it. The same way Ortiz wasn't. I have no problem with David Ortiz being in. My problem is how do you put one in, but everybody else is a problem? You put in the guy you like over the other guys. That's my issue.
The other guys.
I'm gonna tell you, the baseball writers did that so they can say, "Look, at least we put somebody in." That's the only reason they did it.
No, they won't. They'll defend this and say he was never found guilty. But you know what? Neither were the rest of them.
But that's not a plausible defense. How can
they used it? They used it with Piazza. They used it with Bagwell.
I mean,
they did.
Listen,
there was a lot less talk about Piazza and Bagwell, but they were involved in the rumors, and they all said it. Like nothing was ever proven in anything you said about them.
And that's why baseball will continue to spiral in the downward motion because these guys are destroying the game.
I mean, the one guy I just read, I'm happy he's getting into the Hall of Fame of the Veterans Committee, is Gil Hodges.
Yeah, I mean, he was off. He was off, I think, because his numbers weren't really comparable to.
Exactly. Gil Hodges, I'm happy for him as well. Like well deserved. But that was at least something that you were talking about the stats. There wasn't any personal feelings involved in that. When a guy doesn't get in because you don't feel his stat, like if you tell me Andy Pettitte didn't get in the Hall of Fame because you just, regardless of the postseason wins, we just didn't feel the overall numbers were Hall worthy.
See, but this is my thing. This is my thing with what you're saying right now. Let's take Phil Rizzuto, for instance, right? He had an MVP batting 230. You understand what I'm saying? And he had very subpar batting accolades. He was a really good defender. But he's in the Hall of Fame.
But that was more of a resume type thing. That was more of a MVP, multiple time World Series champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that World Series champion, he wasn't the MVP of the championship. You know what I'm saying? He was on a great team.
He had a resume, and
that's like Robert Horry getting in the Hall of Fame because he was on championship teams. Like that's not fair. So what I'm saying is Barry Bonds is not in there, and Clemens not in there, but Phil Rizzuto was in there. Because he didn't. Well, I know
one guy won't get into a Hall of Fame. Carmelo Anthony.
How much on the bet?
Chet, I will bet you whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Because he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame.
I got to go with them on this. I think he will.
Because one thing you don't understand, a lot of you guys that like to talk about Carmelo don't understand, it's not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's the basketball.
Yes,
and he won in Syracuse.
Yeah.
And he's a leading scorer. He's a top scorer in the NBA.
But seriously,
that's another time down the road. We can discuss that further down the road.
Finishing off on this baseball topic, I have no problem when you say somebody's stats are not worthy. Like if you want to keep shilling out because you're going to say his stats aren't worthy, I'm cool with you. You have the right to. That is something you earn the right to with that vote. You've earned the right to say who you feel for reasons on the field, not for your personal feelings about what somebody may or may not have done.
Right.
David Ortiz earned it on the field. My issue isn't that's not the issue here at all.
He earned it at the plate, not on the field, because he was rarely on the field. He was rarely on the field, which is another thing that he's a barrier he's breaking, because somebody that's literally only a designated hitter has anybody like that ever made the Hall of Fame?
Edgar Martinez went in a few years. Yes.
He didn't play the field at all, Edgar Martinez?
In fact, not. Edgar Martinez played the field early in his career.
That's what I'm about to say, but David Ortiz ever was a regular on the field, ever. He always was a DH.
Listen, I can't even tell you what position he played when he played on the field. That's how long.
Ortiz played first base.
No, he's first base. Yeah,
I don't think I ever seen him on first base.
Even when
played
he was
a couple of times when they went to
Minnesota. When he was in Minnesota,
I'm talking about with Boston.
Yeah, you saw him do it when they were in NL Parks, especially during the World Series.
He played 278 games at first base in his career. Ortiz.
Yeah.
out of 7,000 years. He played.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
7,000 years.
That's a season, right?
That's like about the season. That's
one
the
season.
No, like I said, David Ortiz on paper as a player, deserving. Never found guilty of anything, deserving. But the picking and choosing is the issue here.
Yeah.
Listen,
I agree.
Those guys will never be held accountable. They want to hold Barry Bonds accountable. They want to hold all these guys accountable, but the writers are not being held accountable. How is that fair?
No, the system is broken, and it needs to be changed. Like I said, just like any other system that's broken out there that they change in this world, it needs to be fixed, and it doesn't seem like they're doing anything about it. I don't know what the legal ramifications are of what they can exactly do, but there's got to be something to put a stop.
They'll probably do something down the line.
Yeah.
I think this year is the golden. I think this is the golden why right now. Okay,
This is the turn. Yeah, this is
what makes him different? What makes
This
this
is a turning
different?
point.
Down the line. That's the problem with baseball. That's
No, you can't keep kicking the can down the line.
No, it has to be done right now.
And now is your grand opening because you just put one of the Biogenesis poster boys in.
Right, and also too, this is the last year of Bonds and Clemens, so now it's going to leave the writers' responsibility, and it's going to go to the Veterans Committee now. You understand what I'm saying? So now that could possibly be their first, decisions.
Right.
So we'll see.
I'll say this,
see.
it'll be a shame, and I like Barry Bonds. It'll be a shame if that man is not in the Hall. That's all I'm gonna say. This is crazy.
And he has so many, because remember, when you accomplish things, all those accomplishments go in the Hall of Fame. So he has just like Pete Rose. Pete Rose has a ton in the Hall of Fame, but himself is not in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
But the difference with Pete Rose, and I'm kind of torn on it. Pete Rose deserves to be there, but Pete Rose broke a rule that was set in baseball.
But he did it as a manager.
Exactly. But that
as
was
a player, he didn't break it. But as a manager, he did it. So why can't there be a separation?
Because he also accepted it in the deal he took when he was banned by Bart Giamatti.
Yeah.
He did sign off on that. So why I feel he should have been heard out and should have been given the ability to change someone's mind. He did sign off on it, so I don't feel 100% bad for him because he agreed. He took that.
He agreed to it.
He took that deal.
But he took the deal so it wouldn't drag on, bro. He did it. He did it for baseball.
Because wasn't somebody elected to the Hall of Fame that same year? It was one of his friends. That was that he played with. I can't remember.
Bench?
Yeah, Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench Hall of Fame, and him and Johnny Bench had like a little thing because of that. Like Johnny Bench felt like he was taking the spotlight because that was the same time he got inducted to the Hall of Fame when Pete Rose scandal was going on. So Pete Rose, that was a thing. I mean, I think they cleared it up at this point. But
no, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But that was a thing at that time, and
a little different when you break a known rule. To like Boogie was saying earlier, where there was no rule at the time. If they did take the steroids, there was no rule against it at the time. As far as baseball rules were concerned,
that was the number one.
As far as baseball rules were concerned, at that time, it was no different than taking the amphetamines that have been in those clubhouses for decades.
The gambling was the number one rule.
No, I'm talking about steroids.
Yeah. Oh, steroids.
Gambling. I'm saying was right, but I'm going back to what you said earlier, where you said steroids were at the time.
It wasn't a rule.
These were not banned. At the time, they were just as okay as amphetamines in the clubhouse were, which are probably in some form still in those clubhouses today.
Right. I mean, come on, man. What kind of shit you have to be in to pay that many baseball games? Yeah. I mean, you got to take something, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Those guys wasn't snorting lines of cocaine for no reason. Okay, let's just keep it real.
All right.
Exactly. Right. But if you want to get into banning people from the Hall of Fame for that, you're gonna have a long list.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. All right, this show was sponsored by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get yours today on Northern Boulevard. We are 1 hour and a half in. It is time to go, fellas. We had a lot of information to cover.
Before we go, we do have to let Lou's number one fan know he will be back on Friday.
Lonnie.
I mean, she stuck with us.
And the one thing I'm going to bring up, Boogie, as I do at the end of the show about you, what's going to happen. You were told, you didn't hear it. This came from Lou.
Okay.
On Super Bowl Sunday, they say you are paying everybody's bar tab. And that's coming directly from Lou.
I didn't hear what he said. It kind of broke it up. Like
he said that you was paying the whole.
Oh man, everybody's just breaking up. Like I don't understand it. Like we got. I'm sorry, everybody. The connection is messed up.
I can't let Lou take the hit for that because if you watch the show back, I'm the one that's.
Oh man, I just don't understand. Like, why is everybody's connection all messed up?
The funny thing is, Lou and I had a joke about this afternoon. I said Boogie never watched Sunday show because we never got a text about it.
Yeah,
He was hysterical laughing.
All righty, boys.
Lonnie, thank you so much. You're our biggest fan.
Right now, I look like the only fan. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out.
Whoa!
All right, guys.
Did you just say Lonnie is the only fan?
We will be back up. We will be back on Friday night. Billy, myself,
Lonnie, I want to apologize for him saying that you was our only fans. That's offensive, and we're gonna suspend him. So I'm sorry, Lonnie.
Yeah. So Boogie, I'll make the announcement.
It's
so
not
guys,
our only fans, sir.
We will see you Friday night talking about
Emmanuel. Thank you for sticking it out with us. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, boys.
Yo.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Have a good Friday. Tune in on Friday.